this is a response to Micki Krimmel's essay in response to my video, and it goes like this in her essay. It seems like in my video, like, I also do not believe in God. Now, just before that, it says, when she says she's an atheist, she is saying that God does not exist. But since atheism is a response to theism, the definition of God in this conversation is a theist God. Well, I'm going to look up the definition of theist right now, not as a premeditated thing, but as sporadic thing. Theism is the belief in God. So, if you're talking about theism, you're talking about God. So, when you're saying that God does not exist, but you're talking about a theist God is kind of redundant. You're just saying God does not exist. I believe that Zeus and Elohim, God, Allah, they're all the same God. They're all everything. Anything with any sense of higher intelligence. The entire picture, the big picture, the creator. That is what everybody's referring to. People have different names for it. Hindus may refer to him as Krishna or Vishnu, or some refer to it as Om, just a syllable, as a mantra to meditate on God. I believe that if you discount anybody's belief in God, then you're discounting any belief in God, because you're claiming that there's no proof. So that is why you are atheist, because there is a lack of observable data. And I think that it's kind of counterproductive to do so, because you're just going to throw all of your energy into being in conflict with these people. You say that you think that I am actually an atheist. You lay down the claim that if I don't think it's possible that the God of the Christian Bible exists, but I'm not sure, then by your definition I am agnostic. If, however, I do not believe it's possible that Allah is the supreme ruler of the universe, then I am an atheist. But that's not what atheism is. It's the belief that Allah exists, not that Allah is the supreme ruler of the universe. And I think that is... these things are what atheists tend to do. They tend to cherry pick, just as they criticize spiritualists for doing, certain aspects of the Christian Bible and say, well, this has been disproven by science, so that means your entire claim is out the window. I believe that atheists also cherry pick information and choose to hold that against theists. I am a theist. I do believe in God. So that it is what it is. I don't have a name for this God. I refer to it or him or her or them as God, because it's the simplest interpretation, and it's the one of least conflict. But it seems like today in society, with the rational responders and the atheist movement on YouTube and things of this nature, that God is losing its meaning just as a word. So I have to make an amendment. Instead of trying to make a personal amendment with what I believe God means, I think that I can just put it out there into the collective, what I think God means, and see if I can reach a compromise with people. I believe that God is simultaneously both the creator and the created. And the problem is that we have been conditioned by science and by formal education to believe that the created cannot be the creator. But I believe that we are one and the same. My parents created me, and I share so much of their DNA that I am part of them. So there's one example of how the created can also share with the creator. In that same breath, we are not a static thing. The only thing in this universe that is constant and consistent is change. I myself am not the same person that I am a year ago. I am similar, but I am not the same. I am very, very different than I was when I was 5 years old, but I am still similar. Same thing goes for the creator and the created. The creator is different than the created, but they are similar, so similar that they are basically, at their most fundamental centers, the same. God is the universe, and the universe is God. I believe that God predates the universe. What do I believe this off of? What basis? I don't have one. I just feel as though the atheism argument, which is the argument against theism, the argument against a creator, the argument against a compounded higher intelligence or collective intelligence or any of that, the argument of atheism discounts anything but a random existence. Not atheism claims, but it is the claim that's put forward that God does not exist. Well, if God does not exist, then how did the universe come into being? Even taking out of account that God is the collective. How did the universe come into being? Until science or atheism can answer that question, then people should be free to believe whatever means they want to believe in order to come to a conclusion that satisfies their self-interest, which is to cure and cleanse the curiosity of how we came to be here, of what purpose is in our life. And that's all that religion is, in my opinion, it's these traditions and rituals and beliefs, some of which are good, some of which are not good, and some of which are indifferent, but all is left up to the beholder, the person making the judgment. So, absolutism, I believe, needs to be thrown out of the window. You write that there is some beauty in a unified respect, or a unified, where is it? I can't find it. Can I not see how a unified understanding and respect for how we fit into the whole mess would be the pinnacle of spirituality? I don't believe that a unified understanding and respect for how we fit into the whole mess would be the pinnacle of spirituality. I believe if that is the case, then any of the world's religion would have overtaken and become unanimous, a unanimous decision. But there are these different sects of belief. Even within Christianity, there are different sects of belief. Within Judaism, there are different sects of belief. Within the Nation of Islam, there are different sects of belief. Within Buddhism, there are different sects of belief. So you have all of these different areas and tribal beliefs because the unified understanding and respect for how we fit into the whole mess, the pinnacle of spirituality, that defeats the purpose of individualism. And individualism is spirituality. Your understanding, your interpretation of God, of the universe, is what makes you you. And what makes us us is the pinnacle of spirituality, in my humble opinion. Micki, you're a friend of mine, and I like the back and forth. I like open debate and open conversation. And I hope you don't take any of this personally. It's all topical. And I'm glad that this debate is public so that other people can jump in on our frame of reference and our points of view as well. And I'm sorry that my videos are a little bit more long and meandering than yours are. But what can I say?